Once upon a time, in a village named Irorun, there lived a woman called Adoni. Adoni was very special. She made the most beautiful clothes in the entire village. Everyone loved her creations. Her fabrics were as colorful as rainbows after the rain. But Adoni was admired not only for her skill. She was also known for her kindness. She always greeted people with a smile, warm and bright like the sun. Adoni had 3 lovely daughters, each as radiant as the clothes she made. She loved them more than anything in the world, and always ensured they wore the prettiest dresses. Sometimes, she even gave away her beautiful garments to those who had nothing nice to wear. Her home was always filled with joy, the cheerful laughter of her children, and the rhythmic sound of her loom. Click-clack as she wove. Her daughters often tried to help, turning the house into an even happier place. The villagers adored Adoni. They often visited her, bringing fruits and flowers as gifts, grateful for her generosity. With her kind heart and bright spirit, Adoni made the whole village feel like one big family. But soon, something unexpected happened. One day, while she was busy weaving, Adoni felt a sudden, sharp pain. Startled, she gasped, "Oh!" The neighbors rushed to her side and quickly took her to the wise elder of the village. With gentle hands and soothing voice, the elder told her, "Adoni, you're going to have a baby." Her heart filled with joy. She could not wait to share the news with her husband, Yetunde, and their 3 daughters. Months passed, and Adoni's belly grew. Pregnancy was not easy, but the villagers supported her with love and care. Finally, the day arrived. After 3 long and painful days of labor, Adoni gave birth to a baby girl. But this baby was different. Her skin was pale, and her hair shimmered like spun gold. Adoni's heart was torn between sunshine and storm. She held her beautiful daughter close, but she knew the villagers' beliefs. Children born with albinism were thought to bring bad luck. With tears in her eyes but hope in her heart, Adoni named the baby Yetunde, meaning mother has returned. Not everyone shared her joy. When Yetunde saw the child, fear clouded his face. "This is bad luck," he said sternly. "She cannot stay with us." Adoni's heart shattered. How could such a small, precious baby be called bad luck? With all her love, she pleaded, "She is our daughter, our gift. Please let her stay." Yetunde reluctantly agreed, but with condition. "She may stay, but I don't want to see her near me." Though this broke Adoni's spirit, she held Yetunde tighter, vowing to always protect her. Her older daughters were uncertain. They saw how their father frowned and how villagers whispered behind their backs. Out of fear, they kept their distance, and poor Yetunde grew lonely. Adoni, however, refused to let go of hope. She worked harder than ever, weaving her radiant clothes, trying to bring joy back into her home and village. But Yetunde grew more distant, blaming every misfortune on Yetunde. Slowly, friends drifted away, and customers stopped coming. Whispers spread. People avoided Adoni because of her pale-skinned child. Yet Adoni's love for Yetunde never wavered. She would cradle her little one and whisper, "My angel, we will show them. One day, they will see how wonderful you are." Though life grew heavy with loneliness and loss, Adoni's love shone bright, like the moon on a dark night. She prayed for the day when the village would stop seeing Yetunde as bad luck and start recognizing her for what she truly was, a precious gift to be cherished. And so, Adoni kept weaving her beautiful clothes, faster and brighter than before, hoping that the colors and softness would remind the village of the happiness they once shared. But life was hard, very hard. Yetunde found it harder and harder to smile. Each time he looked at Yetunde, he saw only misfortune. Whenever problems came, he would point at her, saying, "She is the cause of our troubles." Those words cut Adoni deeply. As the children grew older, Adoni's daughters felt caught in the middle. They loved their mother dearly and wanted to make her happy, but they also heard the villagers' whispers. "Stay away from Yetunde," people would say, their eyes wide with fear. And so, the girls kept their distance, leaving their little sister to play alone. It wasn't just at home. At the marketplace, where Adoni once sold her beautiful clothes with pride, people now turned away. The same dresses they used to admire were rejected. "We don't want bad luck," they whispered. Adoni's heart grew heavy. Once, she had been the pride of Irorun, welcomed everywhere with open arms. Now, because of fear and superstition, she felt alone. Still, she never stopped weaving. She never stopped loving, especially her little Yetunde. To make ends meet, Adoni began taking small jobs. She cleaned houses, fetched water, and did any task that could bring a little food home. But these jobs paid little. Nothing like the days when her clothes had been prized across the village. Through all the struggles, her love for Yetunde never faded. She would hold her close and whisper, "My little moonbeam, you're perfect just as you are." Adoni prayed that one day the village would see Yetunde's light too. But the shadows only grew darker. Baba Tun's sadness slowly turned into anger, and the distance between him and Adoni widened. Their home, once filled with laughter, now echoed with silence, broken only by the click-clack of Adoni's loom and Yetunde's soft giggles. And yet, within Adoni's heart burned a light that refused to go out. With tears in her eyes but hope in her voice, she whispered into the night, "We will find our way through these shadows, for Yetunde, for us all." As the sun rose and set over the village of Irorun, Yetunde grew. She was no longer the tiny baby who had brought so much fear. She was now a beautiful girl. Her eyes sparkled like stars, and her smile could brighten the darkest night. But still, the whispers followed her. "There she goes." People muttered aloud, no longer bothering to whisper. "The unlucky one." Yetunde heard them, but she tried to keep her smile, just as her mother had taught her. Adoni watched her daughter grow, her heart torn. She was proud, for Yetunde was clever, kind, and talented. But she was also sad, knowing how lonely her little girl felt. Her sisters, now older, kept their distance, too afraid of the villagers' judgment to show love. Baba Tun spoke less and less. From sunrise to sunset, he worked the fields, staying away from a home that reminded him of what he called misfortune. At night, he would glance at Yetunde, then quickly look away, as if afraid of what he might feel. Yetunde longed for friends, but it was difficult. At the well, when she came to fetch water, the other children would scatter at their mother's calls. "Come here. Don't go near her," they warned. Whispers filled the air. "She is bad luck." Each time, Yetunde's heart ached. She would lower her head, pick up her water pot, and walk home with tears rolling down her cheeks. At home, things were no easier. Her siblings, who should have been her companions, stayed away for fear of being branded unlucky too. Loneliness wrapped around her like a shadow. But within those shadows there was light. Adoni began teaching Yetunde how to weave. Her daughter's fingers were quick and sure, and soon her clothes shone with beauty as bright as her mother's. "You have a gift," Adoni told her, her voice full of pride. "Your hands are filled with magic." But outside their home, no one wanted to see that magic. To them, Yetunde's pale skin covered all her light. One day, as mother and daughter sat weaving side by side, Yetunde turned to her and asked softly, "Mama, why don't they like me?" Adoni looked into her daughter's eyes, her own heart breaking. "My child," she said softly, "sometimes people fear what they don't understand. But know this, you are loved, deeply and truly by those who matter." As Yun grew into her beauty both inside and out, she also grew into her. Solitude, the villagers' rejection became a familiar pain, one she learned to live with but never understood. Our world was small, limited to her home, her mother, and her weaving. The village of Irorun, with all of its colors and life, felt like a distant dream, one where Yeti longed to belong, but she knew she never would. Despite everything, Gun's spirit remained unbroken. She was kind even to those who were unkind to her. She shared her smile even when no one smiled back, and she loved even when she wasn't loved. In return, then one day, after many years of feeling this way, yesterday, made a big decision. She decided she could no longer live in a place that only saw her as different, a place where being herself was seen as wrong. "Mama," she said one quiet evening, Her voice steady but her eyes sad. I need to find a place where I belong. Adoni felt a storm of emotions. She knew the pain of her daughter's rejection. She had felt it as her own, yet the thought of Yetunde leaving, stepping into a world so big and uncertain, filled her with fear. Yet, my child, are you sure? Adoni whispered, yet nodded, a decision firm. I need to find a place where my light can shine. Mama, where people see me, not just my skin. Adoni saw the resolve in Yetunde's eyes, the same resolve that helped her face each day in a village that turned its back on her. The night before Yet's departure was long. Adoni held her daughter, sharing stories of their ancestors, of bravery, and of love. Wherever you go, Adoni said, carry our love with you. It is your shield and your strength. As dawn broke over, Yun packed a small bag. She didn't have much. Some clothes, a bit of food, and a weaving tools. With this, Aunt, she told herself, I would weave a new life. But Bonde, silent for years, found no words now. His heart was heavy, a mix of regret and a father's worry. Yet sisters watched from distance, their emotions tangled in shame and confusion. Adoni walked yesterday to the edge of the village. The morning was quiet around them. There she gave a blessing. Go with the strength of our ancestors. Adoni said, her voice strong despite her tears. Find your place, my child, and know that here you always have a home. Yet turned to leave, her steps determined. She looked back once, memorizing the sight of her mother, the woman who had taught her love and strength. Then she walked on into a future unknown. Behind her, Adoni stood watching, her heart both proud and broken. She whispered a prayer to the winds, asking them to carry love to Yet and protect her on her journey. Yet today walked for days. She crossed the rivers and eels, each step taking her further from the pain. And then one sunny morning she saw a new village nestled between green hills and sparkling streams. It was different, peaceful and welcoming. With hesitant steps Yetunde entered. She expected whispers, stares, the all too familiar signs of rejection, but instead she found smiles, warm, genuine smiles from stranger who didn't even know her story, but welcomed her all the same. In this new village, no one whispered about her pale skin. No one looked at her with fear. Instead, they saw her for who she was, a young woman with a talent of weaving and the art full of kindness. Yet someday, carrying the weaving skills her mother had taught her, began to weave. Our fingers danced on the loom, creating fabrics that told stories, fabrics that shimmered with colors of sunrise and the calm of sunset. The villagers were amazed. Look at this beauty, they said, touching the soft clothes she made. And just like that, Yet found her place among them. She was no longer the girl to whisper about, but the weaver whose hands spawned magic. Word of weaving spread quickly. People came from far and wide, not just to buy her clothes, but to meet the remarkable young woman behind. Her reputation grew, and with it her happiness. For the first time in her life, Yet felt a sense of belonging. She was invited to dinners, to celebrations. A circle of friends grew. They didn't see Yetunde. They saw Yetunde the river, the friend, the cherished member of their community. Her little one became a place of laughter and light. She used her success to help others, remembering her mother's lesson of kindness and generosity. Yet, today became known not just for her weaving, but for her big heart. One day, as she starts weaving under the shade of a large tree, she realized something important. She had found her place in the world, not by changing who she was, but by living her truth among these people wasn't just accepted, she was celebrated. As season changed and Yetunde's life blossomed, something magical happened. Among those who admired her work was Prince Olawale, the son of the village king. Prince Olawale was kind and wise, beloved by all. He had heard tales of Yetunde's beautiful weaving and our even more beautiful art. Curious, he visited as tall under guise of buying clothes. But as soon as he saw her, he knew there was something special about her. Their friendship blossomed into love, a love deep and true, built on respect and shared dreams. One day, under the shade of same tree, Prince Olawale asked her to be his wife. With you, I see a future, bright and beautiful, he said. Yesterday, with tears of joy, accepted. Her heart, once heavy with sorrow, now seared with love. Before they married, Olawale asked Yetunde if there was anything she wished to do, and Yetunde knew it was time to face her past. She said, "Before our wedding, my lovely mother must be there. She must bless our marriage." So with Prince by her side, Yetunde returned to URU. The villagers were stunned. Is that yet? They whispered, amazed at how she shone like a star. She saw her mother Adoni. Tears filled their eyes as they embraced. Adoni couldn't believe it. The once rejected girl was now a princess, loved and happy. Yet, sister, however, had not found happiness. They lived in regret and shame. Seeing Yetunde, they felt both guilt and sorrow. Unable to face her, they left Irorun to find new beginnings of their own. Yet, though sad, understood, not all stories end together. She asked her mother to come live with her in her new village, a place where love and kindness rode. With tears of joy, Adoni agreed. Before leaving, the student spoke to the villagers. Never look down on anyone because of how they look. Everyone is special, no matter their color. Touch their hearts, planting seeds of changed. And so Yetunde left again, but this time with her mother and her head held high. She had returned not as a rejected girl, but as a princess, strong and kind. She showed them all that kindness wins, that love is, that everyone deserves a chance to shine. Our story was not just a fairy tale. It was a lesson in love, acceptance, and the magic of second chance. Our story became guiding light for both our old village and a new one. The moral of the day still spread far and wide. Never look down on anyone because of how they look. Everyone is special, no matter their color. I hope you enjoyed the story. If so, please like this video, comment what you learned from the tales, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more interesting tales. Bye.